Good evening. Today we will be discussing one more concept of Selenium, that is JavaScript Executor. Okay. So JavaScript Executor is an interface in Selenium which is used to inject the JavaScript code to the web page. For example, if you look at the screen here, I am opening a sample example for this JavaScript. So JavaScript is a scripting language which runs with the HTML tags, and it is working it is a scripting language for the front end. And when we are firing some event like on click event, on blur, on focus, on submit, so these are the events in which we the web developer can call the JavaScript code. For example, here there is a, if you see on the left hand side, there is a HTML code in which the web developer has designed a button on which he has applied one event called on click event, in which he is executing a JavaScript code. And in this JavaScript code, it is looking for the element by ID. So this is the paragraph it has created by the, in paragraph it has given this attribute ID is equal to demo. So here when we are clicking on this button, it is on this document. On this document, it is searching for the element by the ID demo, and inside the inner HTML means opening tag, closing tag. In between, it is writing the date. The date is again a function of the JavaScript. So this is the background code. When we'll be clicking on this button, this code get executed and we get the date and time. Now, for example, I am not able to take the control of this button due to some reason. That is, button is not clickable or element is not interactable. Then we have already discussed that you can use the actions class, and you can, and or you can use the explicit wait. But even after adding the explicit wait, or maybe after adding the actions class, I'm not able to access this particular element. Then what I can do, I can directly inject my JavaScript code to the web page. So let's demonstrate this particular thing. So again, I'm creating one more class, say by the name of JavaScript Executor demo 1. So I'm creating one of my classes as a demonstration. Again, we have created one page.java which I will inherit it. You can watch it in my previous lectures. We have already explained this page.java, in which we have writing the reusable method. We'll write our own test method and open browser. To open the browser, say Chrome, and the URL I'm automating is this particular URL. So I'll copy it and add it to the code. Now, after that, right now, I am working without the JavaScript executor, and say I want to get the X path of this particular button. So when I inspect this element, again you see it is giving me the information reload frame. So you have watched my previous lecture of iframe. So I told you when you inspect the element, I'm getting this option reload frame. It means it is the iframe. So first of all, I have to change my focus to this particular iframe. Okay, so this is the iframe, and the ID of the iframe is given. So I will use this ID so that I can change my focus to this particular iframe. Driver dot switch to dot frame and frame ID. This I have shown you in my previous lecture what is iframe and how to automate the iframe. And in this iframe, I want to click on this button. So now this button is a part of this iframe. So we have to change my focus to this iframe. Then only I can access this particular button. So again, the button ID is not available. So we can use this text, or we can just copy the XPath, no problem in that. And then I'll just write simply driver dot find element by dot XPath and dot click. If the ID is not available, it will create the absolute XPath on its own, and we have to add one backslash. So because XPath always starts from double slash. So let us run this one, and it will execute and click on this particular button. Okay. And I'll save and execute it. So we are not using any JavaScript executor or any other thing. I'm just simply, I do not know what is written behind it. I do not know anything about this button code, etc. What is visible to me is a button. I am just clicking on button, and my code, whatever is written behind it, will get executed. Okay. So page is loaded, and it has changed the focus to the iframe. There it has located the element button, it has clicked on it, and whatever is written on click event, it gets executed. But maybe sometime, as I told you, this button I'm not able to access, it is not interactable or anything, and I want to directly send this JavaScript code to my page. Then how to do it? Say I'm commenting this particular line, that is, I'm not taking the XPath and I'm not clicking on it. Instead of that, now I am writing Java JavaScript executor is the interface. I think Java and script S is small. JavaScript executor is the interface, and I am typecasting WebDriver. WebDriver is also interface which we have inherited using the page.java, and we are typecasting this WebDriver interface to the JavaScript executor. You can write import statement org.openkover.selenium, and it will import JavaScript executor. Okay, so org.openkover.selenium.javascript executor is a interface coming from the Selenium library, and we have a method called execute script, in which we can directly write our JavaScript code. That is, it will inject the JavaScript code to this page. So say I want to inject this code directly without clicking on the button. So I will copy this JavaScript code and add it in my program. So here we are not taking the XPath of the button. We are not clicking on a button. Instead of that, I am directly injecting my JavaScript code to this page. That is document.getElement by id demo.innerHTML date. And if I rerun it and check it, Okay, the page is loaded, and now it is not clicking on the button. Actually, we are not taking the XPath of the button. Instead of that, we are directly injecting my code to the web page, and that code is working. Okay, so let us give one more example. Say again, I want to go to this W3 school site only, and again I want to click on this exercises or certificates, and then I want to click on this web design or web development here. So again I will write one more program. Same extends page, inherit page.java, write your own method, open browser, and I want to visit this page, that is w3schools.com. And now I want to click on this certificates. So I'll inspect the element. I can use this id is equal to, so id is available, so I'll copy the XPath, and again after that, when I click on the certificates, I want to click on this web development. So I will inspect this element web development, and here I will use this title. Title is equal to web development certification. I'll copy this title and create a XPath. Okay, and then I will create my own XPath, that is using the title. Sorry. And we'll execute and check whether it is clicking on this web development certification or not. Okay, let's run and check it. So you see it has clicked on the certificates, but it has not clicked on web development. If you look at my Eclipse, it is still waiting for this element. Error is not coming because we have added the implicit wait. So it is waiting for this element. And now after waiting, it is giving me the error element not interactable. It is not saying that element is not available. If the error is element is not located, it is not available, then it means there is problem with my XPath. but XPath is available, element is available, but the error is element is not interactable. So we have discussed this thing that if the error is element is not interactable, clickable, then you can add the explicit wait, and otherwise even after the adding the explicit wait it is not working, then you can use the actions class that we have already discussed. But now what I'm doing is I'm using a JavaScript executor again, and I want to send the Java. If this element is not interactable, what I want to send the JavaScript code and click by using the JavaScript code. That is, I want to inject the JavaScript code directly. So here this JavaScript code was already available with me. Here this particular JavaScript code was already available on the web page. The developer has already written this JavaScript code, but it's not necessary that you can call only that particular JavaScript code which is there in the web page, which is created by your web developer. What you can do, you can inject your own JavaScript code also. Now here the problem is that when I am inspecting this web developer development, here I am not getting any ID. Like in previous I was getting document.get element by ID. Just a second, where it has gone. Okay, but here whenever we are inspecting the element, it is giving me the uh, uh, title. It is giving, it is not giving me this particular thing, that is id is equal to is not available. Now how to locate the element without ID using the JavaScript? So for that, again, if you go to the Google, and because you do not know JavaScript, then you can write JavaScript code to locate element by title, say. That is, you want to locate the element by the title. So now you get the answer. That is, you can, instead of using document.get element by ID, I can use another method called document.querySelector. And in this query selector, we are using the title as a XPath. So again, I can copy it from here and I can use it in directly in my program. Okay, because here the ID of the element was not available. So when I was clicking on this certificates, here it is web development, and when I click on this web development, here ID of the element, if ID is available, then so no problem. I can write document.get element by ID dot click. Then it will click on the element by locating the element by using ID. But if ID is not available and I'm using some other attribute, then you can also create the XPath in your JavaScript. So how to create that particular thing, that I am demonstrating. So here in this example, I was using document. This is the JavaScript code, not a Selenium code. This is a JavaScript code. Document means this document, HTML document, and this is the predefined method of JavaScript, and it is also case sensitive language. Get element by ID. It will locate the ID of the element on a page, and then dot click or dot values dot is equal to, so you can do the things on the page. Now here the problem is that I'm not able to click on the element. Then again I am commenting it and I am writing the JavaScript executor and driver, like this, and import JavaScript executor and JavaScript dot execute script and within double quotes, again you can directly inject the JavaScript code to your page, that is document.querySelector. And here we do not write double slash star, we only write square brackets. We do not write at the rate like we are writing over here at the rate. So there is a little bit of difference. So within square bracket you can use the attribute is equal to and the title. So this is the title, element title. So even if you're not aware with JavaScript code, you can Google it and you can search the code and you can directly write it. But these are the two conditions basically. Either the ID is available, then we can locate the ID. If the ID is not available, then we can create the XPath by using this method query selector, document.query selector, and then within single quotes square bracket attribute is equals to value, in that way. And now what you want to do, you want to click on it, dot click. So now this dot click is a JavaScript method, not our Selenium method. So we are writing everything within the double quotes. Okay. So when this element is located, it will click on it. So let us try to execute it, whether it is executing or not. It takes some time to load this site W3 schools. Okay. Now it has clicked on the element. So in that way, we can inject the JavaScript code to my web page. Again, one more example I'm showing is, say I want to scroll on a page. So again, if I Google how to scroll using the JavaScript. So again, if you say JavaScript code to scroll down page or scroll to element. So you can check from here, though you will get many response. So there is one method called scroll into view. This one. So this is a method which will scroll to the specific element, scroll into view. So this is a method available in the JavaScript. Okay. So I can use this method scroll into view method, which is available in JavaScript code, and I can use it directly in my program. For example, again, I'm giving one demonstration. Okay. So say I want to go to this Amazon.in site. I want to go to this Amazon.in, and now I want to scroll down to this element, this one. I want to scroll down to this element back to the top. So until this element is located, it will scroll down. So how to do it? Again, we have extended the page. We have done multiple times, and we have created our own test method. Open browser to open the browser and get the URL amazon.in. And again, we have created this JavaScript executor object. And now we are locating the element. Okay, like I want to locate this particular element back to the top. I want to inspect this element, this one, back to the top, this one. So I want to go to this back to the top. I want to scroll down to this element. So what I'm doing, I'm writing driver.find element, and this is the element which I am finding. Okay, so it will locate this particular element on a page, and if it is displayed, that is it, if it is available, then I want to scroll down to this particular page. So again, we have written JavaScript dot execute script. and we have called the scroll into view method, which will scroll the view up to this element. Okay, so in that way, what you can do, you can execute the JavaScript code directly from your web page. Again, I will run and check it. You see, it has a scroll down to the bottom of the page. So this is the concept of JavaScript executor, but it is mostly used when we are using this JavaScript executor. It is mostly used when we are not able to click or type on the element even after we have used explicit wait and actions class. Then the last approach is that you can directly inject the code. Okay, or otherwise it is generally used for video testing. Now what is this video testing? Say I want to test this YouTube videos, and I go to this youtube.com and say I click on some video. I want to click on some video. No, no, this is a video player where video get played. Okay. So now how this video player is working? If I go to again google.com and write HTML video tag. So there is a video tag in HTML which you can look at. This is the video tag, video starting, video closing, in which we are giving the width and height of the video, and in the source we are giving the source of the video which we want to play. Now this is the HTML code, and when this code is executed here, this is the code and this is the output. So we get this video player where this video gets played. When this video tag is interpreted by the browser, it automatically creates the video player where I will get this play button, pause button, mute button, unmute button, maximize button, minimize button. So these are the controls of the videos. These controls, these buttons, XPath I cannot take. If I try to take the XPath, right click, inspect. So you see, I am getting this video tag here. If I try to get the XPath of this play button, I will not be able to take the XPath of this play button. I'm getting this XPath of this video because this particular player button is created inside this video tag automatically. So I will not be able to take the I can take the XPath of my browser components. These are my browser components. I can take the XPath of this run button. This is the browser component. But this play button is a component of this video player. I cannot take the XPath of this play button or pause button. Similarly, over here, if you look at this in a video player which is playing, let me play it. Okay. Now, now if I now if I right click and inspect this particular element again, I want to. So you can check from here that it is taking the complete XPath of this video, and again it is showing the video tag here. So now if I want to say click on the play button, I want to click on this pause button, next video button, then how to do it? Because I can take the XPath of this like, dislike, share, subscribe, but cannot take the XPath of this play and pause buttons. So for that, we will be using again this JavaScript executor. As I told you, if I'm not able to take the control of the component, then I can directly inject the JavaScript code to the page. So for that, we have to know the what function is called behind this play button. What function is called behind the mute or unmute button. So again, if I open a program to you, So there is a open source library for this YouTube. You can search on the Google also, otherwise this is the link I have added on my program. So if you go and you check this YouTube API playback controls, so they have given this playback controls for the developers who want to use this in a video API. So but we can use it in our program also. So you can check from here. So these are the functions. Play video is a JavaScript function which will play the video, pause video, stop video, and with that it is using this player dot. So these are the functions, and many more functions are available. You can check from here. Many functions are available which you can use in your like mute and mute functions, etc. Many functions are available. So you can check this API from here. So I will share the link to you. So many functions are available. So basically, like load player list is available, current player list is available. So many functions are available which we can directly call. Okay, which we can directly call through our Java program. Like here, if you look at it, I have written open browser, Chrome, and this is the URL I want to play. This is the YouTube URL for the video to be played. Now again, I am using this JavaScript executor and writing play video to play the video, pause video to pause the video, and what I'm using, movie underscore player. So what is this movie underscore player? So when you inspect this particular video and I copy the XPath for this video tag, copy XPath for this video, and I will add this path over here. So you see here I am getting the ID of this video, which is movie underscore player. So here we are writing the ID of the movie player. So ID is movie underscore player, and dot play video will play the video. Pause video, play video, mute. All these are predefined functions of JavaScript which I am just calling, and these functions will perform the action without clicking on the button. Okay, I will run it, and before that one more thing I will show. Say if it is not a YouTube video, then also if it is a simple HTML video also, you can check the open source API. Not, okay, you can you can open this HTML video events and APIs. Again, you will check over here. When we click on this play button, it is a play function which is called. When I click on this pause button, it is a pause function which is called. So they have given this. So if I'm not able to take the control of this play button or pause button, I can directly call this function, play and pause and load and volume, etc., to check and automate this video. So again, if you look at my program, here again I'm writing execute script, and in the execute script I am writing load function, calling the load function, play function, pause function, which will perform the action on the page. Okay, here also we need the video ID. So we have written document.get element by ID video. I get the video ID, using which we will call the load function, play function, pause function, etc. So in that way, we can use this JavaScript executor to send the JavaScript code directly to the page, and we can work on the element without actually clicking on it. So if I run one of the examples for your reference, You see, it is paused, then played back. Now it is muted and unmuted. So in that way, we have checked that all the steps has been performed in that way. So that is the concept of JavaScript executor and how you can use it in your Selenium automation test. Okay, so we'll keep up to here only.